Hello everyone and welcome back to Corey Loses, where today we are continuing our Thrawn's Revenge Imperial Civil War 2.2 preview playthrough in Art of War as the Pentastar alignment. In the first two episodes, we mostly have been defending against Empire of the Hand attacks at Yaga Minor, but now we've got a pretty big fleet in place. We have Kane in position now, along with Grand Admiral Grant, who I think we're actually going to remove from this fleet. We're going to unpause, and we're going to send Grant over to lead our other fleet. We'll leave Kane there. Just in case.
Of course.
So, what we're mostly going to be trying to do, I'm going to pause again actually, is trying to take this territory from Warlord Zinj and maybe some of this area from the New Republic, and try to get the whole northern side of the galaxy. I'd like to get up to at least the border of the Hapes Consortium before they emerge and become an active faction. Or they won't become an active faction in this playthrough, but they will have a ton of ships there, and we can go through the Hapes cluster. But we do have to deal with these Empire of the Hand attacks. So before we get any of that done, we do have a few more patrons to add to our ranks. We have Entrala's Wrath, the VSD-1, and we have the Fiery Vindication, a Venator. So thanks for the support, all the patrons who have joined the fleet there. If you are interested in joining, there is a link in the description to our Patreon post with all the possible ships. I did have the wrong link, I think, in the first two episodes at first, but it should all be correct now. I think it was linking to the New Republic one before, but let's get started here. So I do want to take a look at some of our fleet compositions here, because we probably don't need all these ships together. What I would like to do is gather a third fleet to send down to Arinda. So I'm thinking we're going to take this from Jameis, and let's get the Praetor there, because we already have Kane. We'll grab a couple of these guys, and we'll grab Razgriz, I think that's it. Nope, this is a regular Secutor. We'll take Thunderchild. And an Enforcer. And I think we'll take Relana and we'll switch over that. So we'll move down here.
Ahead full. Understood.
And is there anything we want to remove from this fleet? Crassus, I'm going to leave Crassus Trellix here to deal with Zinj's stuff, because they have a lot more fighter units, or powerful fighter units, because of the Raptors. But, you know what, we don't need a hypervelocity gun here. Let's get a light factory and a barracks. And maybe we'll take Silver Shadow and Lost Kings. I want to leave most of that fleet intact. I just want to get a couple more smaller support ships for this one, and ooh, should have gone in right away. They had less there than I thought. But either way, we should be able to hold this off. Arinda's been like the focus. This may as well be the Arinda campaign. Speaking of the Arinda campaign, we will have the 5th era breakdown going up pretty soon. I want to try doing a news post, like a text post for that, as well as a video breakdown, because it seems like a lot of people do prefer videos for the news posts, and more people just watch the videos than read the posts anyways.
Ready, sir.
Especially with that kind of thing. Like, we did the boarding ability preview. Still need to fix that. We did the boarding ability preview earlier in the week on the channel, for those of you who haven't seen that yet. I'm kind of waiting to see what the major questions around it are before doing the text post, and I may do a follow-up video just answering some of the questions people had in the comments there. But I might even put some of the questions into the Air 5 breakdown. So we'll see. But most of our turrets here should be enough to hold off. That's not good either. Most of our turrets here should be enough to hold off what they've got. I did a few changes to the Air Striker, but not a ton yet. I want to go through and change a lot of the balancing stuff for most of the ground units in the mod anyways. I want to significantly change a lot of ground stuff. And that's going to be one of the main things I'm working on during this playthrough, actually. I think up to episode 10, between episodes 4, no. I want to say like 6 and 10, I will be away, so you won't see anything change at that point. But after episode 10, I'll be back, and I'll be working back, like, basically full-time on the mods and the channel stuff, so you'll probably start seeing a lot more change around then. There's a few defensive platforms that I'm going to be adding in over the course of the playthrough, so you'll start seeing those pop up. Either we're going to be building some, or the New Republic's going to have the XQ. I'm going to try to get in the Empress as well for them from Ascendancy, if you guys haven't played our Sins mod.
Going there
And what else? Naval Station Valaduja, which I'll probably put on the PA and Raidu.
Enemy bombardment is ready.
Right.
Sensor node
They
constructed.
seem to be...
Construction complete.
Oh, there we go.
Affirmative. Move out. Right away. Firing. Moving out. Open fire.
Well, you don't send your artillery first.
Attack position.
Get back.
Target in range. Heading out. Moving to
We
target.
are
Okay,
victorious.
that's weird. A lot of the work on the AI hasn't started yet because we pretty much always use the default AI. So we're going to be trying to address stuff like that now that we're able to actually make changes to the AI files without interfering with other mods, which is always the thing holding us back before from wanting to do anything with it. Like, we've always had access to the Lua script part. Like, there's two parts to the AI files in Empire War. There's the stuff in scripts, which are the Lua scripts, and then there's the other behaviors that are in the XML files. The Lua scripts could always be loaded out of the mods folder, so we've made a few changes there in the past, and we want to go back through and change more. Then there's the XML stuff, which you could only load in before from either the base folder or, as we know now, as Bob from Phoenix Rising has told us, you can actually put them in a meg file and put them in the mod folder. You could always do that, but other than that, you have to load them from the. You used to have to, before the Steam patches, you had to load them from the base folder for Forces of Corruption, which is why having Republic at War installed would typically break the AI and everything, because their AI changes were kind of broken.
Choose your
But
reinforcements.
now that we can actually load whatever we want out of the regular files, we'll be able to do a lot more with the AI. There will be some stuff that we try to get done for 2.2, but a lot of that will probably end up being done either in the beta phase for 2.2 or more in 2.3. What do we got here? Eternal Judgment,
Star Destroyer standing.
Elena.
Reporting in.
They really didn't have anything here to worry about, but I really want to redo the Messiah design. I don't like it.
Copy that.
A little late for that.
Back around for another run.
I'm not sure if it's like AI zones on the maps that's making them not want to drop on some planets, but they were dropping stuff before with Arinda, so I don't think it's that.
Building started.
And then we'll build up another HV gun here. That'll reduce the cooldown, and then we can just protect this area. Because the Empire of the Hand is going to be coming in through this way. The Remnant only has access through this one planet. I don't know if they're going to want to attack us that much. We saw that they had
Construction complete.
Navigating to coordinate.
they had Isard there for a while, but we seem to be okay with that now. I don't know if the Empire of the Hand has anything in Erewhon, but you guys did vote to focus a bit more on Warlord Zin, so that's what we're going to do. Cauron should be fairly easy to take regardless.
Tactical battle imminent.
Alright.
Reinforcements available.
Alright, so I think, like I've pointed out, I think I've already pointed out in other videos, but we have re-enabled the AI behavior that makes them want to go back to the station.
Moving to sector.
Because it was leaving a few too many holes in their behaviors just the way we'd taken it out, because we didn't have I don't know when we're going to be able to actually rewrite the behaviors around it.
Understood.
So you will see them start to do that a bit
Moving
more.
to sector.
It's basically they use the guard command on it, and you can see that if you're playing 2.1, you'll notice that if you have Golans on a planet, or if the AI has Golans on a planet, they'll start to like sit under the Golans and
Moving to sector.
send stuff in like that. So we can try to take that advantage of that right here. But you'd also see it if you look through my AOTR 2.7 playthroughs. You'll see when they have the Gravwell gens, and even with the Golan defense stations, they like to sit under them as well. And like that gives you usually a significant fighter advantage, especially in AOTR, because the fighters seem to be a bit more vulnerable to it.
Right away.
Or prone to it. Not vulnerable, but...
Regroup for another attack. They're coming in quick.
So let's try to
Moving into position.
put some of our stuff in the back here. We'll get some carriers going. I was super zoomed in there.
Form up. Form up. Right away.
I've got them in my sights.
Moving out. Moving out.
Let's get Grant in there. And
Coming back around.
we don't have a lot of ships with a lot of firepower just yet, but
Draw their fire.
we do have a fair amount of carriers.
Destroyer here. Fire. Our target priority is the laser cannons. Open fire.
I've got a set. Skip ray reporting.
Start getting our fighters in there.
Ties reporting in.
Thrawn reporting.
Enemies in reporting.
Copy. Attack.
Our Praetor's going to go a little low, but I'm not that concerned about it, because it has a lot of hull points. With a lot of the larger ships like that, we did shift a lot of their health towards their hull as opposed to their shields. So you'll notice the hull drop a bit slower while you're still or the shields drop a bit faster, but you will still have a pretty significant pool of hull health, of actual health. But right now, it's really the best way for us to protect our carriers, because the Vendors and the Calamitors especially are pretty vulnerable, or pretty fragile.
He's headed your direction. Enemies in range.
Yes.
Someone cover me.
Heading to destination.
And now it's really just going to be the Allegiance we have to destroy. But they're going back to trying to kite towards the station. Let's get our ISD, or our bombers, on the Allegiance. Where's our skip rays? Did we have that many?
Coming back around for another run.
Copy. Receiving orders. Awaiting your orders.
You guys can come up behind it.
Get over here and
We're moving out. I copy.
skip ray blast here.
Navigating.
Nowhere to run.
Awaiting your command.
Target locked. I've got
Captain on deck.
Falling out of port.
You'll also notice a bit more of like lighting effects on the back of some of the ships, like the ISD, the engine banks right now. Dr. Knickers went back through and tried to add some like kind of bloom effects onto the textures, onto the light maps as well, just to add a bit more atmospheric effects kind of.
Target locked.
And that'll be something that probably gets applied to a lot of the units. He's also gone through and done a lot of updates to some of the Mon Calamari ships. We posted a picture of the Home 1 and the MC-90, because the New Republic, we're not doing as much with their unit roster as some of the other factions, especially with the updates that the Imperial units are getting. I also noticed that the VST's smoothing has been fixed. But anyways, we were thinking about eventually having to redo the models or making them even higher poly, but we just went through and he redid basically the base texture for the Mon Calamari ships, and just added in some extra details here and there, added in some ambient occlusion, which are like the shadows that are baked into skin, into the textures rather, and it ends up looking a lot better like it's pretty
More enemy craft.
Do you have something to report?
low, it's a low-hanging fruit. So rather than putting in all the effort to redo the model entirely, which would take a lot longer, there were just some updates we can make pretty quickly to really increase the visual fidelity of some models, and that's going to be a lot of what's left for 2.2 as far as any graphical changes we do. Like there's going to be very few other things that we redo entirely, like we did for like the Venator, the ISDs, and all that for 2.2. But there will be a few other updates of the smaller kind where we hope to get a lot of value out of that. But
Attack formation.
I'm ready.
we should be pretty much done here.
Star Destroyer reporting in.
I'm thinking with the Era 5 breakdown when we put it out, I'm going to try to put in pretty much a comprehensive breakdown of everything that needs to be done for 2.2 to start being in,
Enemy ships.
well, technically open beta.
Holding fire for maximum effect.
Armed and ready.
We're still internally discussing what the best way to handle it all is for the release process, but
We shall be
we
there shortly.
we split some stuff up a few days ago, and so far everyone on the team that's been around to discuss it has been pretty happy with what we've come up with. It seems like Still a few people that need to weigh in. But once we're confident with that, I'm going to be trying to write the Air 3 breakdown this week, so you guys should be getting information about that relatively soon.
They've got us targeted. Ready. Engaging the enemy.
Awaiting your orders.
Alright. I wasn't expecting such a big fleet to be defending at Cowron, but there we go.
Has been defeated.
Okay, so let's get these guys in here.
Star Cruiser here.
Tactical
And
battle
is that... Oh, welcome back, guys. Which one is this? We have Fiery Vindication. I'm going to send that one into this fleet down here as well. Could kill more. I have an interdictor there, so we could have taken out all that stuff. But eh. Then we're just transport hunting, and that's no fun. Alright, which map is this? Ooh, I think... No, this is the Pentastar one. There was another asteroid-y type map that we were using, which I think it was using skirmish markers or something. It was the skirmish version of it. Or something else was wrong with the map because it was causing a crash, so we had to swap it out. It was on Cowron and Bilbringi. It's supposed to be the Bilbringi map. For anyone who played the skirmish in 2.1, it's the a GC version of the skirmish version of that, but it might have just been the skirmish version.
I am waiting.
Choose your
So,
reinforcements.
if that makes sense.
Acknowledged. On my way.
So we've removed it for now. I think Rogue was going to take a look at fixing it or even redoing it, or just looking for the skirmish one and trying to reconvert that back. So hopefully he'll be able to sort that out, or we'll be able to sort that out.
Support fire ready.
Let's go up to the next
Brigade standing
It
by.
is about time.
landing zone, and I think down here there's also a sensor array on this map,
Ready.
which is
Right
always
away.
helpful.
Yes, sir.
Vision is like the best thing in ground battles.
Awaiting your
Enemy
command.
unit abandoned sensor array.
Okay, so
We've secured
they've just got like a
landing zone.
skeleton defense force here.
back you up.
IDT, more like goodbye DT.
All right, men. Take cover. We'll cover you.
Killed a few stormtroopers.
Providing
What else is
backup.
new though? That's what they're there for.
Right behind
So
you.
Choose your reinforcements.
you just chuck in
Inputting
some of
the
these
order right away.
guys.
What is
Okay,
my next
Cyrus, you don't
objective?
no,
Moving.
you don't want to get too far ahead of yourself, Cyrus.
If I must.
If
I
you
go.
die, everyone's gonna be mad at me and like, Corey, your hero's dead. You suck.
Heading out.
Armor ready.
I'm gonna try to keep them alive for a fairly long time in this playthrough, and then right at the end,
The big
when you're all
targets
thinking
are
maybe they'll make it, I'm gonna put them all in one big fleet, and they're all gone.
Man, this way.
It's, I'm gonna make you all sit there and watch me get my heroes killed.
Support order acknowledged.
If there's any enemy fleets left, I might even like script in an enemy fleet big enough to destroy them all after we've taken pretty much everything else.
We'll cover you.
on my way.
Lead the way.
It's gonna be great.
Providing backup.
Which really incentivizes me to keep them alive until then. So it works out for everyone.
Right behind you. Come on, man. This way.
I'm here. On my way.
Rolling out.
Lead the way.
And the behavior's actually the same on the ground as in space. You see how they like hang around the structures there? It's the same thing I was talking about with the space map. Alright, so we have that. I'm going to send these guys back to Yul Shaw. Cowron, I'm going to do double those. And we're gonna build basically a whole army to sit here eventually, depending on which way we go. But I think what we want to do... Where was that? Are they going into Dorinda again?
Construction
Probably.
complete.
So that might end up being something we revert,
Tactical battle
where you
imminent.
can't see that stuff, just because it's very important information. We were assuming that the arrows would always show up. I think there's stuff we can edit to make them show up. We're gonna make 100% sure of that before we make any final decisions on whether we go with one or the other. So if there's anything that seems like super off-putting to you right now, like feel free to weigh in on it in the comments. But as I said at the start of the playthrough, and we'll continue to say as we go through, this is still a very much in progress build. So you're going to see a lot of stuff that's not done yet. Alright, so I'm going to do the thing... No, I'm not actually going to go back. I want to wait until we can see a Peltast.
Orders, sir.
And then I want to
Location plotted.
HV gun the Peltast.
Ion engines primed. Deploying squadron.
I don't think we can win this, but... A phalanx... It might be worth it getting a phalanx.
Hypervelocity cannon firing.
How much is that going to do? There we go. So there's actually two variants of the hypervelocity gun. I think I mentioned this before in the mod. There's one that's used by, I think, Zinj and Meldrude. No, one that's used by the Empire. One that's used by the PA. One's really weak, one's not. Okay, this is...
Jump to light speed.
I'm sorry, Eternal Judgment. You will be back.
Our launch bay has been
And in Trella's
destroyed.
Wrath.
Our shields are down.
It's too risky. I'm gonna have to send in Kane's fleet or something. So I'll get those patrons queued up as well. This is gonna be pretty bad too, but we can at least... Alright, so we'll get those guys... Well, we do have a discount. We can get a Bellator.
Tactical battle
This one's
imminent.
first, so we'll go with that. Alright, they don't actually have that many units to invade with here. I do need to change, one of the first things we need to change is what they actually put in their invasion forces for ground. We've already done it mostly for space, but ground we haven't touched as much yet. So if we can hold this off, which I'm like 97,000% sure we can do, we should be able to get Kane's fleet into position before they decide to leave with their entire thing. Maybe it would even be not that bad if they were to leave with most of their fleet and leave only some of it behind, because then we can just destroy what they leave. But eventually we will have to actually fight this Empire of the Hand fleet.
Turret constructing.
Roger that.
Construction complete.
Form up.
Can we get more build pads in more useful positions as well? Revision? That one up there is not the best, but... Can't really see.
Move out.
Well, there's this one. Is
Away. Inbound.
that a mortar? Yes, that's a mortar.
Awaiting orders.
You guys... No, awaiting mortars.
Roger. Moving to that area, sir. Spread out, men.
Oh, that is a very wide collision box for that.
Copy. Attack. Fire. Let's move out. Enemy target.
Might be the only one. No?
Let's go.
There's another one. I think they only come in companies of one, so they are landing something. It's just not everything they should be.
Attacking target. This way. Fire at will. Attacking. Targeting. Enemy sighted.
No.
Firing.
There we go.
Over there.
Oh.
Transfer
Enemy
coordinates.
bombardment is ready.
Heading to coordinates. Going there now.
Okay, that's interesting.
Open fire.
They're definitely landing the mortars, but they're not. They don't want to land their airstrikers or those commandos right now.
Move out.
Uh-oh.
Right away.
You're using your bombing run on some podwalkers that you missed.
Target in range. Moving out. Moving to target. Attacking now. Attack! Heading out. Fire! Enemy target.
Enemy has been defeated.
Alright, that's more specific information I can use. Oh, they left. But I was just... Now they're going to go for Jägermine, aren't they? Well, we're going to add a Bellator to that fleet. But let's get
Constructing unit.
Eternal Judgment and
Vehicle
Entrella's Wrath in here.
production.
Wrath. Who's with you? I don't think anything named. Oh, we have party starter. Party starter. Okay, so let's take a second here. Let's leave the New Republic there, because I would be fine with them taking a little bit of territory. They're almost at the point where they're connecting everything. They need Dasucha, Kessel, and Honegger. They can't take them on until Era 4. Well, I guess they could just take Kashyyyk and Kessel, and, well, any of these three. They definitely need Kessel and Honegger. So we're probably okay leaving them alone for now. I need this. They're still going to be building up in this area. But Zinj and Meldrud are mostly fighting each other. If we can get to yeah, Tangren's probably the best target right now.
Building under construction.
So let's do that.
We're heading out.
Maybe we'll go for Bilbringi. Let's see what Bilbringi's got going on.
Tactical battle imminent.
Okay, Tangren. That's nothing. Just Golans. I want to wait until they don't want to just automatically go here to do this. But let's
complete. Tactical battle imminent.
Ooh. There it is. We don't have the HV gun. Have to be a little bit careful. Those Peltists are really going to shred our Executor shields. Right, so they have a fair amount of defensive structures here. Let's jump Kanan at the back.
They're in this direction.
And I want to leave enough space because this looks like a fleet we can beat. And it looks like with transports they usually want to retreat, actually. Oh, that shouldn't spawn there, but there's been an issue with the new way we spawn fighters where they'll sometimes spawn a little bit too far away. We're not 100% sure what does it, but I want to
Reinforcements en route.
back a bit.
Helm, move us out.
I want to leave enough PopCap that we can bring in Party Starter. No, let's just bring in all this stuff right away.
Weapons ready, sir.
Aborted. Bomber squadron reporting. Bomber targeting.
My scopes are jammed. Right away.
And no, that's...
Reinforcements canceled.
Let's get another Raider in here.
Commander.
They have a lot of Psychas.
Advancing on target.
I've got it.
TIE squadron standing by. Ready for battle.
Okay, you need to get up here.
Attacking. Reporting in.
We'll destroy as many of these chaffs as we can.
Our primary target is
Maybe
the
we can
TIE
bait them into
squadron.
wanting to retreat again and do a bit of damage while that's up.
Gun crews fire.
Roger that. For the Empire.
Choose your
Do we have more Raiders? Yes, we do. Just a regular Raider, it's not Lost Kings. I believe these are mostly regular units, not patrons.
Moving to sector.
I really wish we were having this battle with,
Form up. Commencing attack run.
what's it called? With our stuff. With our HV guns. You know what? This is too risky. We're gonna lose Kane. Too many bombers.
Under control. Is about to be destroyed. Watch him. He's coming around.
I really just want them to attack Arinda. But we got a few things down there. It's not bad. Okay, they're going back to Yaga Minor, so let's send these guys to Arinda. Once we have this Bellator up, we'll probably try to re-assault that base. Because the Bellator will let us have an SSD, but still have a few more open PopCap. It's a bit small. It's weaker than the Reaper will be, but if we can send it in with, even with Grant, we should be able to handle whatever they have. So let's just get more of these guys down here. Let's just drop 5 and then we'll put the rest in with Saris and we can go take Tangren.
I understand.
And that gives us this whole corridor, sort of. All right. Let's just start with stars.
Invasion commencing.
Yes,
Choose your reinforcements.
it will be done.
Get her up there. Well, we're not going to be able to get to that other
Heading
landing
out, on
zone
my way.
before we get anything else. Let's get
At maximum
just enough
capacity.
units.
What is it, Commander?
We'll
I
grab
will.
a sensor node here. There's a sensor array back here that I want to grab as well.
Sensor
What is your
node
order?
constructing.
Moving to that location.
I'm not sure
Where's
what
the
they'll
next
have.
target?
Just give me a target. Move into position.
Construction complete.
forces ahead.
We should be able to make it to the sensor. Let's just get up there.
Yes.
This should be fun.
I'm with you. I'll be there. Stay close to me.
You guys can't. Yeah, you are capturing it.
I'm
Abandoned
here.
sensor array.
Let me help you. I understand. I'm on it.
Unit destroyed.
What? Oh,
We've secured a landing zone.
oops.
Choose your reinforcements.
Rip
Putting
ATPTs.
coordinates.
Advancing.
How can I help you? Understood. Skywalker here. May the Force be with me.
Where are you,
What do
Ceres?
mean? They will know fear.
Just
They are
destroy the
nothing.
station. Or the
Heading in
building.
that
Not
direction.
station.
Of course.
Move into position. The big targets are ours.
Try that one.
Commander Skywalker reporting.
Do you guys have the same crush ability? I don't remember.
Awaiting your signals.
Nope, you're gonna whack at the building. That's not a super effective way to destroy buildings, but hey.
Awaiting
Unit
instruction.
destroyed. We'll check
Scanning area.
Copy.
Unit
I am
destroyed.
Charge.
Bombing run available.
Ready for orders.
Got an AT-AT coming in.
What's the mission?
Unit destroyed.
And now the AT-AT is gonna want to come for us because the building's gone. But we should be able to go wipe it out with what we have. Hellfires are a fair bit weaker than they were in 2.1, but they're still probably too powerful. We wanted them to be AA, but just the way the missiles work doesn't work super well as AA.
On my way.
Acknowledged.
Okay. There's that, and we just got that last little thing here, and 2 ATSTs.
Be right there.
Reinforcement point contested.
Don't underestimate me.
Engaging enemy.
Avoiding fire.
There's one, and here's the 2 ATSTs. Thank you for coming.
Bombardment available. Bombardment incoming. We are victorious.
Alright, there we go. There's Tangren. So I think we... we want to leave it there?
Control achieved.
Let's just take a second. Yeah, I think we will leave it there for today's episode. So in the next episode, which will be tomorrow, because this is going to be Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, we will get this last Bellator, or get this first Bellator built. We'll use it and hopefully
Enemy fleet
prevent
approaching.
the... Oh, we'll probably have to defend against an Empire of the Hand attack, but I'm going to move these guys over here. So we'll probably have to defend against that Empire of the Hand attack, and we'll try to take a bit more of Zinja's territory. So we'll probably take Axela, and then maybe even Sereno, because Zinj actually doesn't have that much left at this point. The New Republic and the Greater Meldrud did a fair amount of damage to him. So I think by the end of this week we should have all of Zinja's territory, and then we can start taking out the New Republic's northern forces and maybe making our way into Meldrud and trying to surround the Hapes Consortium. We'll try to leave the Empire of the Hand mostly alone, but they seem to really want to invade us. So we'll see how that goes, but thanks for watching, everyone, and I will see you next time. Bye.